What's up, guys? Welcome back, and this is my final review for Jessica Jones. I almost said Daredevil. The title screen's right up there, Sam. Anyways, so I'm joined by Ricky Sacedo. We're going to talk a little bit about episodes 11, 12, and 13. So how you doing, Ricky? You like what you saw so far?
Yeah.
I guess it's the end.
Definitely.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was a pretty good show. I think it's pretty on par with Daredevil. It's got a good flow going on so far, leading up to the Defenders. So
I'm very anxious to see how that turns out because it has Luke Cage a lot in it. We get a little bit of a crossover with Daredevil, not in a spectacular way, but a little wink to the fans. The nurse character, I can't remember her name. Claire. That's right. Thank God we had subtitles on.
Right.
Every time she was off camera, it said her what she was saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. We got to finally see how Jessica, I guess spoilers, takes down Kilgrave. So that was very interesting. It wasn't. You kind of mentioned this. It wasn't very. There weren't a lot of twists and turns with this aspect of the show, but it was satisfying. He definitely deserved what he got, and he got what he deserved. So, did you like that aspect of it, where how he was trying to amplify his powers and maybe his storyline with that a little bit? Did you?
Yeah, I did. I like that, and I think you were saying he might have even become that purple supervillain.
We got a little nod to his comic book lineage, so that was pretty cool. I really liked that as well.
But I'm also glad they didn't just what they did with Kingpin and Daredevil is that he was defeated, but he's also like, he'll still be back.
Yeah, he's in the prison, but
But Kilgrave is gone. He's gone. Sure.
He was such an integral part of this show that I was really wondering where are we gonna go without him as the kind of having the anchor. It's the Defenders, I guess, or something like that. They kind of hinted at the end of this episode. She checks her voicemail and she's got a bunch of cases that she's got to go take care of. That Jessica Jones. It was pretty interesting. So, we talked about what we liked a little bit. What are some things that you maybe thought the last few episodes could have improved on?
Okay. So, it's basically just, what they've given us with the characters so far.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Kilgrave, his character, would have had some sort of failsafe. He would have, pre-planned ahead and would have been smart enough to avoid being killed that easily.
Makes sense with what we've seen beforehand.
And if he did die, I feel like he would have told someone, hey, if I die, you need to do so-and-so, to get revenge on him.
Yeah, exactly. Some sort of,
And, still could be a possibility. Like, he could have told someone. I don't think
we still haven't seen the fallout. You're right. There could be definitely some sort of fallout for what happened. Maybe there's a bunch of random suicides or something over the city. And I know we're talking. I tried to get this talking about our cons, but that's another thing I really liked about what this show is able to do was make it just so grotesque and disturbing in some of the best ways possible, because it really shows that even though this is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this is still this is for the adults. Okay, you don't need to go take little Timmy who's 12 to come see Jessica Jones, because we got people cutting off limbs, putting them in a freaking garbage disposal. It was ridiculous. So I really like how terrifying he was, and you're kind of right. It would have made a little bit more sense if he would have had a little bit of a failsafe. And another thing I think that it could have improved on was I had grown on. At first I was a little bit unsure of Luke Cage's role in the show, but I kind of grew attached to him along the way. So having him removed from the last episode particularly was a little weird, but I did like the reveal in episode 12 that he's being controlled by Kilgrave.
That was done very well.
Oh yeah, it was done really well. Honey, I wrote it. That was great.
Probably my favorite scene from the entire show.
I think it's probably one of the best oh shit scenes of the whole season.
Yeah, and just seeing them brawl, just go at it was really nice.
It kind of felt like it had a lot of tension built up to it too, because obviously she killed his significant other, and you kind of never know how personal the fight is with them too, because especially that stuff they mentioned. Hey, I never forgave you for killing her. It's like, oh no, that's Kilgrave talking. Is it? You never really. It's really cool how they are able to play those mind games with you just through Kilgrave's powers. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I did think the whole. I kind of wish that he would have been able to control her towards the end, and she would have been able to outwit him, even though she's under his control. It would have been nice to see that if she would have been, because I was kind of hoping that because in the last scene she stops and she's trying to trick him, but really he thinks that it would have been cool if the reveal was that she was under his control and she just and he still came towards her because he didn't believe it or something like that. But I mean, at this point, I'm splitting hairs because this show was such a great thrill ride. It was such a great serial each episode. Did you kind of get that feeling with after watching one episode, you wanted to watch the next one? Because I feel like you watched this faster than you watched Daredevil.
Very fast. I think I started it few days ago.
A few days ago, wow.
So
So that's less time than I have even, so now
Yeah.
you're already finished with this. So that's pretty cool. That's a good sign of a show right there. Did it take a couple episodes to get you hooked, or were you pretty hooked along right first off? Because it took about 4 or 5 from me.
Yeah, I think it was, honestly, it was the chemistry between her and Luke Cage's character that had me, like, wanting to see more.
Mm-hmm.
And that was introduced, like, right in the first episode. So after that, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down. Let's go.
I was very excited for that. I kind of, you're right, kind of stay. It's like come for the Marvel and then stay for these characters. You know, you get attached to Jessica, Luke Cage, even Trish a little bit. The only thing I feel like might have been a little bit of a misfire, and I told you this off camera, was the cop character. He was a little annoying with his pills and whatnot. Still not quite. I don't quite understand the whole significance of that storyline.
He's a very underground Marvel character. I think his name is like Nuke something.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he is someone from their.
That's cool. There's precedence
world.
for that. I thought he was just completely random. So at least they were trying to accomplish
Mm-hmm.
something for the fans, maybe.
He's supposed to like. I think his whole shtick was being tattooed in like red, white, and blue. Like,
oh yeah.
And
that's why the pills were
red, white, and
okay.
blue.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The more you know.
There you go.
Anyways, yeah. So I don't really know. I was gonna try and ask you what you'd rate the season. So yeah, I guess we'll try. Maybe it's kind of hard to rate a show altogether, but because I feel like the first half of or maybe the first 10 episodes of this was a little bit better than the last 3, because the last 3 or 4 I feel like were a little bit kind of all over the place. Didn't feel as honed in.
See, I feel like it's more like split in. I guess thirds, because I was gonna say half, because like the first section, like the first 6 episodes, before she goes to the house that Kilgrave made for them. Before that, was a lot more dark and mysterious, and then once we got into Kilgrave's character more,
there is a tonal shift a little bit, because he's so playful and the way he just goes about everything.
It
that
almost,
makes him so terrifying.
Yeah, it almost made me think they were gonna have them try and make him a hero, because he seemed pretty willing to try and be the hero. He was like, "Hey, this was a lot of fun.
That was fun. Let's do it again." Yeah.
And then she just totally stabs him in the back.
How great was David Tennant though in this role? Honestly, he's like,
really
"You
good.
convinced me not to kill that man," which I honestly thought was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's just, I hate you, but I love your character, so I'm gonna miss him in season 2.
My favorite moment was when he had her phone, and I forget her name, the lawyer. She was texting him.
Hogarth or something like that.
Yeah, Hogarth. Yeah, he was like, "Bitches, right?" Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do, very vaguely. I actually liked the little bit of interaction that David Tennant and Hogarth had together, because they're both so cold-hearted, calculating people in different. They're both, one's good, one's bad, but they're kind of similar. So it was kind of cool to see how that all played out. So but yeah, for the whole season, you had to give it a number. What number would you give it right now, if you can give one?
8.8.
8.8?
8.8.
I was going to go for 8.5, but not too much of a difference. So definitely you should see it. What did you give Daredevil? Just curious.
Oh, I would give Daredevil a 9.
I'd give Daredevil a 9 too. So this one's just a little bit less, not real. Just because it's a step down doesn't mean it's not good.
I think
it's
honestly
really
just because Daredevil is has a lot more prestige to his character. He's more well known, and there was a lot more. I feel
it's
like
a more straightforward story.
Out. Yeah, that too. And then they're just big names, Daredevil and Kingpin.
It's easy, or not easy to make it work, because I guess Ben Affleck didn't have that luck, but it's something that is more accessible than Jessica Jones, and they did a great job considering.
They did.
So
it made me care a lot more about these more side characters, if you will.
You're right, because when they announced the whole Defenders lineup, I was like, okay, Daredevil's cool, but Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, am I really gonna be interested, or just gonna be watching for the Daredevil? But now I know that I'll really care about all these characters, and that's the benefit of having them all have their own full season of a show before they eventually team up. So
it definitely feels a lot more rounded out.
Oh yeah,
and you can feel the. I like how it kept the same. Obviously, it would, but the Hell's Kitchen vibe, aesthetic, and all of that. It feels very tightly woven, and it's like I could have imagined seeing Matt Murdock in the background somewhere.
He fits right into this atmosphere they're creating.
Yeah.
So I would give it 8.5, 8.8. Definitely go check it out on Netflix. It's now streaming, and check out all the other stuff we got on the Film Fan Club show. You just did a Mockingjay review and a Creed spoiler discussion.
Yeah.
And I did some other videos that you can check out in the links below. So check it out. Follow me on the various social media sites at SamuelD Carrico.
Twitter at Rickety_Rockety, and Instagram at Rick Soseto.
And eventually we're going to do the Film Fan Club show again. It's been on hiatus, but it's coming back once we get some studio space. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. I said the farewell. Nice.